All right, we are now live, and this is Cornerstone Life Center.
Hello out there, everybody.
We are live, and this is our regular Tuesday night live class. We've been having some technical difficulties, and that's why you may see that on the screen. In case we go out, you'll know why. I just wanted to make sure that you all knew what was going on. But for now, we are up and running.
Up and about.
So we are at the end of this day pretty much, and it's been a slow day for me. We were just talking about how that I took a sinus medication, and it kind of kept me slow all day. So, and that's not my normal temperament, so this is different for me. So if I seem a little low key, that's why.
Okay, good to have you with us tonight. I was sitting here looking in my book here about Luke, the first chapter.
Good evening, Pastor Norman. Good evening, Sissy and brother-in-law. Sissy is
Brother
the
Joe,
first one here tonight. Joe is
the two Joes.
coming on in. I'm glad you guys are here. You might notice that I posted that we're experiencing technical difficulties because our Wi-Fi, even though we're hooked directly into it, was going in and out. So we're not sure what's going on with that. But in the event that we go out, that's why. Just wanted you guys to know. So we're hello, Linda.
Linda. Mm-hmm.
She says my spiritual parents.
Good to see all of you so far, and the rest of you on the way.
Yeah. You want to do some affirmations? Or are you ready to start? You want to go ahead and start?
Well, you can read some of them if you want to.
Okay. Hello, Pat. Come on in the house. I was just sharing how that I took a sinus pill last night, and it's kept me real groggy all day. So if I seem a little low key, that'll be why. Good afternoon, Judy, and James Kessler.
Oh,
Esther
yeah.
Kessler.
Good to have you with us
Glad
again.
you guys are here. Let's do our affirmations, some quick affirmations, and then we'll dive right in.
Miss Thomas, Phyllis.
Hey, Phyllis. So if you would just kind of center
Dion.
yourself and don't multitask while we're doing this. This is a good time to just settle in and do absolutely nothing but allow yourself to soak up what we're actually saying and having your own discoveries while we're doing it. So if you would repeat this after me, and you guys can take the time to speak to one another if you want. I can give you time to do that because you're still coming in. Hello, Virginia. So some of you guys are still coming in. I don't want to miss anyone, and I want you guys to benefit from the affirmation. So if you're ready, I think we kind of slowed down as them coming in. So we're going to go ahead and do them, okay? So if you repeat after me, it's fine. I am the knowing self. I am the mystical self. I am the unoffended self. I am the stable self. I am the permanent self. I am the fully awake self. I am the authentic self. I am the complete self. I am the unconditioned self. I am the unaffected self. I am the unlimited self. I am the free self. I am the unafraid self. I am the unconcerned self. I am the timeless self. I am the formless self. I am the immortal self. I am the essential self. I am the undisturbed self. I am the original self. I am the fully awake self. I am the infinite self. I am the pre-earth self. I am the nameless self. I am the ageless self. I am the unbound self. I am the highest self. I am the divine self.
Hold it right there for a second.
Okay.
The I ams that she's reading, here's the way you keep up with your true identity. If you were to relate back to your birth certificate, there's not one place on your birth certificate in the physical world of your identity that says anything like this piece of paper that says this is your birth certificate. It does not say anything on your birth certificate about any of those things that she just read to you.
True.
And the thing that you're repeating, which automatically, when you read this kind of information about somebody or a being, whatever she's reading about this being is totally contrary to your birth certificate.
Yeah.
Your birth certificate is not going to tell you. Matter of fact, mine's been all messed up for some time.
True.
And then when I found out who I was not versus who I am based on what she's reading, it messed it up even some more.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to your head, your mind, and your finite birth certificate and your physical identities, you might as well take that and slide it to the side, because if you're going to walk this walk that we're talking about, you're going to have to show your awareness, consciousness, self, or let it reveal itself to your finite mind, which is opposite of it, that you are no longer a resident in awareness to your finite self. You only use the finite self as a vehicle, but your real self is finally everything that she's talking about.
And I say these affirmations today, and you may be saying them today as I am, not really feeling like I'm any of that.
You don't have to feel it.
I'm not feeling that I'm any of that, but I know that I am that.
And your mind may not be thinking it.
Exactly. So I speak the highest part of the, how do I want to say it? I speak the truth, the highest truth of myself.
Now,
and not allow my mind to speak its version of me.
Whenever you turn your radio on in your car, the radio actually don't speak. The vibrational frequencies of whoever is connected to it in that vibrational world is speaking through it. But the radio is just sitting there in your car.
Yes.
Allowing sounds to come through it. Now watch this. You're going to get so familiar with your true identity in your finite self that you'll get to the place, every one of you, to when you get ready to say or do something, you'll be able to tell the difference in the narrator of where it's coming from, who's talking, what is saying it, and how to notice. All of you guys need to accept this. you're going to be very proficient. You are becoming more proficient in being able to recognize your high self, desires, movement, is and is not, go and stay.
Yeah.
You're going to understand a better way after the day. You're going to be able to communicate because, but you're going to be able to tell when your high self is speaking in first, second, or third person.
Now, I noticed something about these affirmations when I say them and you repeat them after me. When I add the word self on the end of it, it changes it. Now I'm going to do it again, just a few of them, without adding the word self on the back side of it. So we started out saying, I am the knowing self. So what I am going to do now is drop the word self. And so this is what I want you to repeat. Not I am the knowing self, but I am the knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I am the complete. I am the unconditioned. I am the authentic. I am the original. I am the permanent. I am the fully awake. I am the undisturbed. I am the essential. I am the divine. Can you feel the difference when I drop the word self? All of a sudden, there was no form to you. There was no, you were not an it.
Mm-hmm.
You were not an it.
Every one of us, before we came into this dream dimensional world, went to what is called the school of communication.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Every one of us, in our intuitive faculties,
Mm-hmm.
were sum cum laude, top of the line, program or condition or whatever you want to call it. Words don't mean anything,
Mm-hmm.
but just understand the gist of what I'm saying.
Yes.
You went to a communication center, so when you got here, okay, here it is again. There's more coming. You really don't have any problems with your God self directing you. What you're having problems with is not your problem at all.
Exactly.
But it's giving off the idea that you have a problem hearing and getting directions from God, which is not true. Because if the emergency was strong enough and was warranted enough,
it would
automatically blast through this thing. Because I've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you something has to enter into trust.
It kicks in. Now, Jill said this, that when I dropped the word self off of the end of the affirmation, she felt less resistance.
Yeah.
And that's what I meant when I said there's no it. There was no it. You were not an it. For instance, instead of saying I am the unconcerned self, you would say I am the unconcerned. And there's so much less resistance in that.
Mm-hmm.
In that.
Now, what I want you to do is to get familiar with, glory. Get familiar with hearing your God self in the midst of tormality.
Tormality. Now, what's tormality?
Tormality in the midst of a storm.
Okay.
In the midst of opposition.
Right.
Degradedness.
Yes.
Misunderstandingness.
Yes. Okay.
Wrong attitudeness.
Okay.
Bad morning, no sleep at nightness.
Okay.
Feel bad in the mind, back hurtness, foot hurtness, ingrown toenailness, belly acheness, monthly issuesness, menopause, changing of life isness. Let me tell you something. I used to think That whenever these things came up, the first thing would come up in the mind, the devil's a lie. I could care less about that statement.
Well, we know that's not true anymore.
That statement is just
it's not relevant
it's
to
a
us.
rote
I put it
pattern
like
that when you use it, all you're doing is that terminology is pulling up in your mind an excuse that has no weight, and it cannot interfere with your true communication tower. Oh, I thought I heard, if the Lord had told me, let me tell you something, little girls and boys out there. If it was that important, you better believe your bottom would shake like nobody's business, because God, your God self, is not so unfaithful in being you that it would let you slip up and miss on what he has for you deliberately. I want you to hear this. See, we've been thinking that God is so unprofessional, improficient, that, oh, if I had listened, I would have caught it. Why didn't he tell me? Stop. Just hush, hush. Don't say no more. If this thing was so urgent, believe me, if he had to send every Gabriel and angel in the universe to get your attention, but it evidently what it is not that important for you to panic.
Now, I like what Melissa said, and yes, that's very good what you just said. She said that when we drop the word self, she noticed the use of the word self reinforced the idea that we are separate from God, which is the illusion and false. So if I said the affirmation, I am the intuitive self, and drop the self, you would simply say, I am intuitive. If I said I am the okay self, then you would drop the self and you would simply say, I am okay. So you can see how it's speaking the truth of what, not an it that you are, but what you are in essence. And when you start to find yourself as essence, the sense of being a self starts to fall away.
Let's just say you done found out how to be less distracted from the function of your pure self.
Yes.
Because you have become so together by the grace of God that the biggest sound and noise on my Jeep, I got a horn on it. It's a train. It's a 2 or 3 trumpet train horn. I can blow that thing on the road, and it'll sound like a train going across the track.
Yes.
And it makes some people mad.
Yes, it does.
I want you to get to the point where sudden, I've heard of people hearing sound so blessed and so loud that it caused their soul to jump out their body.
Yeah.
I want you to get so in resting. There it is. That the biggest blast don't do nothing but make you look at it and keep staying in your fixed identity. Yes. That's what I want. That's what I want. I am speaking this into your life, but what I'm speaking into your life is something that's already there. I'm speaking something that is already there. I'm not going to speak in it. I'm not going to say anything to you that is not, that ain't there.
That's true. And so if I asked you the question now, having gone through the affirmation and coupled with what Pastor's already said, if I asked you, can anything cause this to change? What would be your response? These truths that were spoken, can anything cause this to change? When you know I am complete.
Complete. That's a good word.
I am undisturbed.
That's a good word.
I am unassociated. I am unadulterated. I am the knowing. I am. Can anything take that from you? Nothing can
Mm-hmm.
remove that from you. Not even a bad feeling.
That's right.
Not even some event coming along
That's
that
right.
turns your life upside down
That's right.
and leaves you penniless.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing changes that. And how you feel in your body doesn't
Mm-hmm.
change that.
That's right.
Nothing changes that.
Uh-huh.
And that's where you
Mm-hmm.
remain. That's where you abide. You stay there as the essence, not as necessarily a self, but as the essence.
In other words, you find out how to stop allowing polarity clashes
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's
from
good.
interfering with your natural divine
Yes.
flow.
Yes. Because polarities come from opposites,
Yes.
opposite poles. And that's
Mhm.
duality again.
I now sanction you with the full awareness you're ready to see God
Mhm. Mhm.
in fullness.
Yes. And did you notice this? That as you spoke the affirmations from a place of actual knowing,
Mm-hmm.
even though I guided you into it, these were actual known truths about that you are. As you did that, did you notice how that your everything around your insides, everything kind of went, it relaxed. It you didn't associate with your
Mm-hmm.
body in the
Mm-hmm.
sense of how it felt, what was going through your emotions at the time. None of that mattered necessarily when you remained as that essence. I am fulfilled. I am peace. I am forgiving. I am God realized. I am abundance. I
Mm-hmm.
am.
Mm-hmm.
As you speak those truths about that you are, there is no form associated with it.
You have always been your higher self, but you decided to go on an excursion.
Yes.
And this is the excursion world that you chose based on the fact of the last few million that you came from and went
Mm-hmm,
through.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This one really is a vacation for you. Ah, doggone it, boy! I tell you, this shucks, boy! I tell
Don't
you,
pop yet. Don't
I
pop
done
yet.
popped it just a little bit. Yes,
Linda
yes.
says I am is indivisible. Let's take out is. Let's take the is out. I am indivisible.
Yes.
And then Renee says this, doing this takes away the person, the
Mm-hmm,
commentary voice.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. Marla
mm-hmm,
says, your
mm-hmm.
love for purity attracts souls to know God. Thank you, Marla. I appreciate that,
You
sweetheart.
are the highest self. You can go or
Yes.
stay or leave in awareness. But let me tell you something. God, your God identity.
Mm-hmm.
Don't back off from and don't go low down for nothing. No, 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 no. I'm sorry, but if you think God just got his last nerve blowed up just because
Last nerve
his
blowed
last
up.
nerve blowed up and busted all to pieces because of certain things going on in DC, you need to go back out in the woods and start all over again and come back because
Yeah, because you are the undisturbed.
mm, mm,
As you
mm,
are
mm,
the undisturbed, Washington doesn't disturb you.
mm, 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 mm,
And you
mm.
may say that repeating it after me as a guided meditation, and at the moment that you say it, your senses and your body and your emotions may not agree with it. However, you're speaking the truth from the truth.
God is your one-time self.
Hmm.
He don't take a one and a two and a three and a four. It's just one time.
Okay.
God is one time Stop. I'm going to leave time off. God is one,
Yeah.
not in, but as all of us.
Your permanent identity
Glory be to God.
has no addendums.
Mm-mm.
I am has no addendum. So when I am has an addendum,
Ooh, glory be to
it's
God.
consciousness flowing into that as that.
Mm.
So when we say I am the loving self, then I become a person who's loving. But when I say I am love, that's totally different. Essence, the consciousness has to flow into the essence of what love is and flow from that as an expression.
Go ahead on and take it. You don't need no chaser to drink this stuff. This is some strong liquor.
Yeah, it is.
Don't cut it with a chaser. Take it like a woman, like a man. All right, take it like a human. But when you come out of this thing,
take it like a god.
Yes, get Trump completely knocked out of your false identity. Unhook this trailer and pull this thing all the way to the end. But the power that you're going to be pulling it in is the strength of your divine Father consciousness that is always been the motor, the conditioned self could not stop it. What are you panicky about? Don't even get on God's little nerve. Never.
Your permanent identity is not in it. It's not a me. It's not an I.
Yes.
So it doesn't possess. There's no me, mine. Your permanent identity is really kind of abstract to the mind.
Somebody went to the bank and you told them that you had filled out the paperwork and applied for $1 million loan. And they told you that you didn't have enough assets to cover that amount of money. All of a sudden, while you're standing there, you change into the president of the bank in front of their face. Now you said, look at the application, but this time don't look at the paper, look at me. I am the approval, my God Almighty, and the acceptance.
You are the credibility.
You are the one.
You are the.
Oh, God, oh,
I almost said you are the incredible.
Lord have mercy.
You are incredible.
I done busted my britches here, girls and boys. I'm telling you the truth. I done shot to the moon. I'm telling you, woo, this stuff is just like, Lord have mercy on somebody's soul. This thing is right.
I want to respond to Alfonso. Alfonso says, I am one with God. Nothing can separate the love of God, separate us from the love. Let's take it a step further, Alfonso, if you don't mind. Let's take the quantum leap.
Yes.
Instead of saying I am one with God,
yes,
just say I am one God. I am one God. And not your human body, not your humanness, but your essence, the essence that is the undisturbed, that is the Christ, that is the essential, that is the indescribable, that is the indivisible. That, not your humanness, not your human physical self, but the one. There is only one, and that one is God. Let's take let's take the leap. There is only one, and that one is God.
Look at here, look at here. Look at there, look at there. Look. And see.
Yes.
The awesomeness of stillness speaking.
Now, I have to admit that when you say something like I just said to Alfonso, the mind goes into perplexity because it's afraid to make itself equal with God, the same as. but Jesus thought it not
Mhm.
robbery
Mhm.
to make himself the same as.
Yeah.
And there's something in us that's afraid of that, as if God's not going to approve of that, and it's going to be something wrong if we say that. So I don't encourage you going around saying it to other people, but to yourself, say it.
When Moses and the priest stood at the veil, let me back up again and say it another way. You are not going to get past security with your awareness still being your birth certificate name.
You just brought up something, that there are guardians
All right now.
over certain
There you go.
realms or dimensions of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you
Mm-hmm.
to transcend the level that you're at,
Now you're
to
talking.
come to the highest level of consciousness. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to. So there are guardians
Mm-hmm.
to prevent you from coming there. One of them is that fear that if I go, I'm going to go too far if I say that.
Let me tell you something. Ooh, glory. Ooh, glory. Oh, Lord, I thank you. Yes. Do you know on the end of your finger, your thumb, is the actual fingerprint of the Lord Jesus Christ?
Well, that's right. And Paul said it. He said, and we always associate it with crucifixion. But he said,
glory.
I bear about in my body the marks of the Lord Jesus Christ. The marks can be the fingerprints. It don't have to be the crucifixion nail prints, and it don't have to be that.
When you put your eyeball up to the screen and you get go past security, your eye is the eye of Jesus, the eye of God. You go in there, you might start out as Pastor Norman Sawyer and Linda and Kelly and Alfonso, but you're going to have to make some changes between the time you get born physically and that no born identity. Oh, glory.
I like what Pearl said. I'm going to say what Renee said, because Renee was associating what we said. She said, saying the statements this way keeps the self from trying to be it or believe it. And then Pearl says, we need to go that far.
Yes.
To strip the matrix of the ego. Oh, that's a good one right there. Oh,
glory.
You need to go that far, to strip the matrix of the ego.
The veil from in the temple, it was so strong that how many team of horses couldn't tear it?
I don't know, but it was a whole bunch of them.
And the only way the priest could get through there to the Holy of Holies, he had to completely be whatever it took, the quality of, to get past that veil. If you go in there born of January, February, 1960, 1920, and all them numbers you think gonna get you in the gate. No. It even talks about Jerusalem. They talking about when Jesus come to the eastern gate and all that, with his closed up now gonna open. What he said Jesus was the door. There's no Lord have mercy.
You gonna pop.
I done blowed it. Let me tell you something. When Jesus was at the marriage of Cana, the wine that they were drinking that was better than the first wine was the wine of his blood. That blood of Christ is still flowing in our veins. It's a holy, sanctified blood, and you don't have to do anything to add to it. You ain't going to get in there with your street address, your social security number, your license number at the Department of Motor Vehicle. That won't work. You got to give up. Give up. I feel a song inside of me. You got to give up.
What?
And be.
Just give up.
Just give up. Honey, sugar pie. That song said, can't no grave hold my body down. Do you know you done kicked the dirt off of your body the minute you recognize your infinite identity? Do you know you just had a second coming awareness of the Christ right there in your seat, right there looking at this picture, looking at me, pointing my finger? That blood, that finger, every finger. That's the reason why I said if you lay hands on the sick, they shall recover. That's not so much a special gift. That's your identity, and it's in your fingers. The print, the original hand of God is up on you. The original hand of God is up on you. The original print, the real print of Jesus' hand is in your fingers.
So if I said I am the permanent self,
Ooh,
I think of myself as a being that is permanent. But when I say I am permanent, there is no it added to it. I am permanent. I am fully awake. I am Christ. Instead of the Christ self, I am Christ. I am indescribable. I am undefined. I am no self. And you could go on and on and on, but being that requires no thing to be that, and it requires no special feeling to be that.
It's a good one. You are the vision. You are the vision version.
The vision. And
you are the
version.
vision and the version of a perfect Christ with all kinds of imperfections in the finite self.
Okay.
You are the version and the vision. When God looks at you, he sees himself. Now it's time for you to look at yourself and see him.
Because when God looks at you, there is no one else to see but himself. So he cannot see any, God does not see any other. There is no other beside God. And that's a scripture. There is no other beside God.
It doesn't take any work.
Linda says, ain't nothing but the real thing, baby.
Oh, I like that. Ain't nothing but the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Let's talk a little bit about, and I don't know if we can go into it in detail, but when Pearl says to strip the matrix of the ego, that's a powerful statement. Strip the matrix of the ego. How the ego has been constructed. Well, the ego initially, its base purpose was for survival. That's all its purpose was and is to survive. So what has happened over time, the chip in the ego has gotten damaged by all of the conditionings, and it's become unhealthy. So yes, we need the mind and the egoic mind to survive in this physical dimension, but what has happened is it's begun to it's going rogue. It's going rogue. It's taken over, and it's decided this is how life is going to be, and it's taken those of us who have fallen prey to the belief that it knows how to run it. We've gotten trapped in that rat race, and now we're unhappy with it. So the chip has been damaged. So stripping the matrix of the ego is to go back to find its original purpose, and that is to help us survive in this earth dimension. But when it's not needed, it doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be micromanaging everything.
The last time we were, one last time we was on, we were talking about the footsteps of the righteous have been ordered by the Lord, and I told you that the footprints of Jesus is in your shoes and in your feet. Let me tell you something. This walk of the Spirit is really what it is. God is walking, moving, and breathing.
That's right.
He is the absolute life that you are, and you are. Wait a minute, hold on. Here's revelation. I want you to hear this. I'm gonna say it to you, but you have to listen to it. Just relax.
Okay.
You are the life of God, and God is the life of you. If you remove the life that you are, God would cease to exist. If you remove the life that God is, you would cease to exist. If you remove the life of God from you, you would cease to exist. If you remove the life from God, He would cease to exist. What I'm saying to you on both sides.
I'm processing it.
Okay,
go ahead.
On both sides. You are His life, and His life is yours.
True.
Take either one away, and either one of us will cease to exist. That's impossible.
I got you.
Got it? Glory. Kick my shoes off and call me shorty.
Yes.
Let me tell you something good. You are now addicted, hooked up to heaven and the kingdom. Don't have to have a pot to wait in and a window to throw it out.
Oh.
You could be poor, the broke neck chicken in a meat house, as poor as Job's last turkey. Glory. And you'll still be rich. Woo! Glory be to God. God, I tell you, I like
he's,
this.
He's enjoying this.
I like this kind of stuff.
He's enjoying what he's
Yes,
speaking.
I'm you. If I can't hear nobody, I'm gonna get happy. I'm gonna get happy myself.
Everybody say amen.
I'm on by my
Say amen. Because he's enjoying
happy.
it.
I'm happy about the power of the blessing of inside information. I don't care who hearing me, listen to me, like it or dislike it. I don't care. I done talk to God inside of you, and you listen to God in me, and I don't care if it don't sound good to your ears. It's still good stuff.
It's all right.
It's all right.
We like it.
Have a good time, cause it's all right. It's all right. It's all right now. Sure enough. I told you. Hey, I can hit the switch and turn on the lights.
You have fun all by yourself. Right?
Turn on the lights. And I'm gonna say, turn them on. Turn them on.
In response to what Pearl put about the matrix of the ego being stripped, the veil of conditioning, as that veil of conditioning, can you calm down for a moment?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you in another world. Where are you?
I'm crazy. As
the veil of conditioning is stripped away, the camouflage is a camouflage over the real self, over the real. I won't say the real self. There's a camouflage over that you are. That's concealing it from being able to be seen by the one who's looking for it. Jesus. But it is there. But the camouflage is covered. But as that concept of the self is removed, there is nothing left but the impartation of the knowing of that you are. And that is what most of us long for, is for the impartation of the knowing and the actual lifting of that veil so that we can see it.
The gift of interpretation is the gift of impartation. And the gift of impartation is the gift of transportation. Transportation is the gift of revelation. Revelation is the gift of intransitation.
Oh my goodness.
Lord, it's goodness. It is goodness. I'm telling you the truth, baby girl. Y'all,
are
baby
you blissed
darling.
out?
No, but baby, I'm
blissed out, aren't you?
I'm telling you,
yes, you are. Yes. You blissed out.
I want everybody to know I want y'all to know how sweet it is to be able to talk to you. I never thought I ever hear words like it's coming out of our mouth about the truth of us.
Yeah.
This is the truth. This is the truth.
Yes.
Our niece know everything that we're talking about, light beings, light bodies, the pure self. And she ain't read no book or nothing about this stuff. And we sitting down with her this weekend and was talking this stuff. And she knew everything about it. And then I said, now I'm going to tell the boss man to give me a raise. Because I studied this for 57 years to get to this point. And she just come in the door and sit down at the table and start talking this stuff. And they ain't been nowhere like what we been. I said, Lord, the grace of God is so
you
marvelous.
Forget what she said, how she came into it. And we mentioned it on Sunday, and I don't want to keep repeating it to be redundant. But she came into her full recognition by sitting alone, by being alone. And she got comfortable with being alone. And because of that, she was able to look deeper within herself. And she found that place of peace. She found that core of peace. She found that core where everything was okay. She found it. Well, nobody had to tell her. Nobody. And when she found it, the language came with it. It's like she knew already what everything else everybody else is studying.
We're looking for the words. She got them.
So at the seeing, she knew.
Oh, you know, I just saw.
What?
The Bible is not supposed to take the place of the pure word.
No, it's not.
It is supposed to be an addendum.
No text is supposed to take the place.
That's what I'm finding out. If the real word is spirit, eternal self, and then the book comes later. That means we as eternal self existed before the book. Okay. Which means we are the authentic self.
Yes.
That's what you said right there.
Yes. Job said this, said it this way. He said, I will, yet in my flesh shall I see God.
What?
Yeah.
My what?
He said, yet in my flesh shall I see God.
In my car, in my house, in my shoes,
in this body.
Whether in the body out, I shall see God. Y'all better get ready. You should have been ready. Before I came on, you're going to see God. And matter of fact, I'm gonna stop procrastinating. You seeing God now. And
not only that, I'm not so much just saying that while he's in his body, he will see God. No, he said, yet in my flesh shall I see God. I'm gonna see God in
this physical thing right here. In this right here.
Within it. And I've said this before. You won't find God anywhere else but inside of you. That's it. There's no other place for God to be.
This kind of stuff will make you go bird hunting with a BB gun.
And it's not so much, and the inside of you takes it away and makes it something separate. So I can say you won't find God until you find you.
I mean, go hunting for King Kong and Godzilla with a BB gun. Hey, ain't no way in the world. A little BB gun. Like David took that little bitty rock in the name of the Lord and knocked that big old monkey out. He should have just laid on down. He didn't have to get cold cocked in between his eyes with a rock.
Well, now, you don't really know how big the giant was because we don't know how big David was. David might have been David might have been 3 feet, and the giant might not have been but 6 feet.
You never lost both of your mind.
We don't know.
Silly. She
to a 3
she
foot.
She full of silliness.
To a 3 foot man, a 6 foot man is a giant. So.
You see this? She been to the ABC store. That's what it is. She been to the CHRIST store.
Oh my God!
And she done got drunk on some JC.
It's just funny when I go
some
back,
JC Daniel.
When I go back and we look at some of the stories in the Bible. And to put the to conceptualize it and realize that some of it sounds absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
He took a strap off his underwear and put a rocket
Oh,
strap
don't
around
say that.
and slung it up there
Now,
and
see.
popped up there and hit Goliath in
Now,
between his
see,
eyes. I ain't no seeing
You
it.
are
I'm
stop.
seeing. I see it. That's what I'm seeing. Took his underwear and popped there, and
Y'all,
hit it between his eyes.
if I was in church, I'd say, stretch your hand this way.
Well, stretch it. I
And
need
pray
it.
for this wrestler
I
right
need it.
here.
I'm telling you the truth. The man got knocked out with a little old rock with a strap or leather, whatever they. How they get leather back in them days?
How do you know he had leather?
Well, or he just threw.
What did he use to stretch it?
Is it a
with?
sling?
Yeah, did it have rubber?
I ain't gonna even talk to you. I just told you what he had. He had a pair of pantyhose back there. He took a pair of pantyhose straight and popped them. That's what he did. He had a pair of pantyhose back there and popped with a Viagra pill.
Okay, they're gonna think we're completely crazy.
Yeah,
now.
we done lost our mind. Well, I'm telling you the truth. The thing is real. You might well make fun of it because it ain't nothing but fun.
Well, it's kind of like when it said Joshua prayed and the sun stood still. We know now the sun don't even move. So what stood still?
This girl done went
The
over
sun doesn't move. All the planets revolve around the sun.
Her boat, you know, like one of old.
So when it said Joshua prayed and the sun stood still, I'm thinking, what? How that happen?
The water done quit running uphill. That's what it is.
Jesus said we crack her up. Oh Lord, Judy. Pray for us, girl. Pray for us.
Look,
we need some help.
you guys might as well go ahead on and get happy. You've been sitting around there all day, or whatever you've been doing at work. Go ahead and get happy. Get your recharge.
Some of this stuff just does not make sense. But
well,
I tell you what, when your eyes open up to the truth, and you speak from that level of consciousness, speak from your pureness, speak from that you are, speak from that as about yourself, and then you'll realize your point of recognition will continue, and then you'll just find life unfolding the way it's supposed to unfold before you.
When you hear, see, or some kind of way, you know what? God is so interested in crossing the barriers of all restrictions.
Oh, I like that.
He is so interested in crossing all the barriers of resistance.
I like that. I like it.
He finds it to be a challenge. Mm-hmm. When I say he, I'm talking about you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You like obstacles because they don't do nothing but serve you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They serve you for a next move of consciousness to advance itself and to a wider and a broadening, a different way of seeing things, just like your God self really is.
Yes.
Are you like this? Is it good? Yes, it is. I'll answer myself. I'm like God. I'll ask myself a question and answer. Y'all too slow. You ain't getting it on the screen fast enough. I'll ask God a question and wait for God to answer right here in my seat, because that's how easy it is for you to hear the voice of the Son of God and the graves of the saints come open. Yes, your grave is open now and you're coming out. Now, if you go back in it, it's because you've got more. See, if you go back into the grave side, into the grave clothes, it's because you are now a professional. Wait a minute, here it comes again, revelation, insight. You are a professional. I'm running dry. Wait a minute. I got some moonshine now. You are a professional. You are a professional. You are a professional. Hold on, I get it. Wait, I'm waiting for the word.
We're waiting.
You are a professional. You are a professional claims jumper. You are a professional jump over obstacle, you are a professional barrier breaker. I had to keep saying to him, wait for the word to come on. You are an expert at taking giant steps and leaps over impasses. You are a professional impasse jumper. Impasses serve you so much wealth and prosperity that you have to be careful in how you allow them to come up, because if they get too big, you can explode them into something that overwhelm you. You got to be cool with it, man, because you now are finding out. You now.
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put so much effort in trying to change your conditioned self.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that for this reason. Let's just say if you got a pint jar and you need, and yet somebody gave you 5 gallons of this beautiful, pure water. You only have a pint jar. I don't care how much water you've got that somebody gave you. That pint jar ain't gonna hold but a pint. I don't care how you shape it, it's still gonna hold a pint. Your conditioned self is like that pint jar. You can work on it forever. You could try to change yourself forever and still never be able to handle that 5 gallons.
Oh, Lordy. I do upholstery work. And I'm not trying to throw a plug in it, but I don't do furniture anymore. But I
You're
would
not
do
doing
furniture.
it now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still sewing, but I had a case where I ordered 6 to 8 yards material for a sofa, 6-foot sofa. It usually takes about 6, 7 yards during that time. And I ordered it, and what happened was I cut off a little too much for an arm on a chair.
I remember, yeah.
And
you had a lot of times when that would happen.
Yeah, and then when you order a piece of fabric, that lot may be a color. It may be a same blue or green, but that lot they didn't run but so many of them.
Right, and if you have to go back and get more material, it may be a whole different color.
Whole different shade. So I hadn't already invested the money, and I could cover a sofa, 6 yards, 7 yards for about $60 to $70 during that time. And I said, I opened the door to my basement, and whatever it was that was on that material when it came, I loosed it from that material. I took my hand and laid it on the end of that cloth, and I said, I command you to grow. And when I put that cloth back on that little short piece, it done stretched out. And I had to pull it, stretch it all the way around. I didn't have to buy no more material. I used to take a piece of bread and set it in the middle of the floor and command it to multiply. I said, if Jesus did it, I can do it.
Yes, you did.
Oh, shucks, yeah. Let me tell you something. Y'all better be careful. This stuff you messing with is high
It's
potent.
explosive.
It's explosive, potent stuff. And you know what? I heard somebody say, when the student is ready, the master shows up. Well, your master is showing up inside of you.
Yeah.
But you got to learn how to conduct yourself according to the status quo.
Pearl said she found out that fabric has a memory.
Oh, Miss Pearl, I'll come over there and knock you out. No, you, Miss Pearl. Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on now. I'm going to tell Mama on you. You know that's the truth. That is the truth. Memory. I don't care what you say. It's the truth.
Your hair has memories too.
See,
you can train your hair to go a certain way.
Yeah. Well, what you gonna do with this? I ain't supposed to be like this. Y'all knew me when it was.
Yes, you were supposed to be like
this. Y'all be quiet.
Yes, you're supposed to be like this.
My name is Elijah Sawyer.
You had to,
and he said, "Memory, what memory?
You had to come to this to look like you are right now."
You ain't doing no good as that girl. You maybe start over that. Yeah, you ain't fooling me. You ain't speak to it, make it grow out.
Only your mind doesn't like your head.
Your head don't speak to it. Yeah, but it's coming out of my chin.
Only your mind doesn't like your head.
I'm gonna be.
I like your head.
I'm gonna see, pop it up. I'm gonna put.
I told you guys to stretch your hand this way. He needs some help. He needs some help.
Hey, George, if you out there, I'm gonna grow you some hair, man. Hey, Brother Carl, I'm gonna grow you some hair. Just go on down to the store and get you a piece and put it up there.
We're being silly, so we're gonna take off here. Well, look, Pastor Norman and I will be back on Thursday at 2:30 for impromptu.
Joel, come on back.
So come back and join us if you can.
Come on back, y'all.
That's 2:30 in the daytime.
Woo! Glory be to God. Miss Judy, I tell y'all something, boy. I tell you.
And thank you guys for tuning in to us. Let me post up here for those of you who don't remember how to give. Let me put that up there for you.
Please help us out. We appreciate it.
And we do appreciate everything that you've given us so far.
Come on.
And there we have it. There you have it.
Come on.
We know you will do what you need to do, and you will do whatever your heart tells you to do. And if these messages resonate with you, you will give. So we're not going to push that.
Miss Pearl, I finished a pair of these big baggy pants today. We got them on now. Hot dog.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I got two more pair of them. I just make them and I just get ready. I just sit there. And that's my meditation time.
Yep, that's been his therapy. So it's been really good. But we love you guys, and we'll see you again on Thursday and then back again on Sunday morning at 10.
Thank you.
We love you.
We love you. Thank you out there.
Bye.
May the Lord be manifested in your life 24/7.